I'm Bob Richards with this season's College All-America basketball selections, chosen by the men who know them best, the college coaches. Returning for All-America honors a second year is a player that coaches and sports writers agree is the finest backcourtman to come out of New England since Bob Cousy. He's talented Jimmy Walker of Providence. Jimmy, I understand that after a brilliant high school career, you almost bypassed college.
Yes, Bob, I did. Most of the fellows I grew up with, they had no opportunity to go to college, nor the interest. So they planned to further in a trade of some kind. Fortunately for me, I had someone to help change my mind.
That was Sam Jones of the Boston Celtics, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. He was responsible for me going to Laurinburg Institute in North Carolina, which is where he went to school, after which got me the scholarship to Providence.
Now that you're in the twilight of a brilliant collegiate career, Jim, what are your long-range plans?
Well, I plan to receive my degree in sociology in June, after which I plan to further my basketball in the pro ranks. Then I think I'd like to work with younger people. I think I can help younger people find themselves, and in that way I can repay people like Sam, which have helped me.
Coach Joe Mullaney says that Walker has the same speed, deception, and playmaking skills that made Oscar Robertson a college great. He'll make an equally great pro. One of the leading scorers in the country, he averages 30 points a game and hits more than 50% of his shots, shooting with either hand. Shots like this jumper make him Providence's all-time scoring leader, the first in the school history to score better than 1,000 points in 2 seasons. Walker is the best one-on-one player in the nation. He has fantastic vision and is a brilliant dribbler with natural body fakes. In tight situations, he can work his way through or shoot over defenders' heads. Jimmy Walker, 6 feet 4 inch Providence guard, whose electrifying play has thrilled fans all over the nation, joins Bob Verga of Duke, Lou Alcindor of UCLA, Wesley Unseld of Louisville, and Elvin Hayes from the University of Houston on this year's College Coaches All-America basketball team. Each is a perfect example of the young men who represent our nation's colleges and university team, the best in college ball for 1966-67. Representing the tough Atlantic Coast Conference is speedy backcourtsman and deadly shooter Bob Verga of Duke. A senior from Seagirt, New Jersey, the Blue Devil team captain is a capable floor leader, a great passer, but his fast and accurate shooting distinguishes him as a top All-America. Duke coach Vic Bubas says Verga is the finest all-around player in college ball. He's a brilliant outside gunner with the finest range in the game. Accurate from 15 to 25 feet, he's a 50% shooter, averaging 26 points a contest, and now holds the Duke Stadium record of 51 points in a single game. Verga's quick hands and feet make him one of the best dribblers and setup men in college ball. The key man on the Blue Devil attack, when not shooting, he still sets up their scoring plays. A bird dog on defense, his speed and tight harassment breaks up many scoring situations. Verga's particularly known for his unorthodox shooting style, confusing the opposition. Shooting from a dead run, he jumps high in the air. The ball is poised high over his head, and it gently rolls off his fingertips. Bob, that's beautiful shooting. Where did you develop such an unusual style?
When I first started playing basketball in high school, I used to have numerous shots blocked. So as a result, I started holding the ball higher over my head and releasing it quicker.
In an age of the 7-footers like Lou Alcindor, Jerry West says there's a definite need for the quicker man in pro basketball. How do you feel about playing professional basketball?
I most definitely want to play professional basketball. Basketball has been good to me. It's enabled me to go to college and gain an education. It's something I love, and I would like to further it as a career.
You bet Bob Verga will be a top professional basketball player. He's a great competitor and willing to sacrifice to improve himself and his basketball talent. That's why he's an outstanding athlete, and that's why he's a member of the 1966-67 College Coaches All-America basketball team. He joins Jim Walker of Providence, Wesley Unseld of Louisville, Lou Alcindor from UCLA, and Elvin Hayes of Houston. A gathering of basketball talent unexcelled in college today. With the College Coaches Basketball All-America team for 1966 and 67. With me is a young man who at 19 is already a basketball legend. He's Lou Alcindor, 7 feet 1 inch sophomore sensation, who has led John Wooden's Bruins to a conference title and the possibility of an NC2A championship. Lou came to UCLA a winner. At Powers Memorial Academy, he led his team to 100 victories with only 1 defeat. With his physical equipment and his scholarly background, he was the hottest college basketball prospect in the land. Lou, with hundreds of offers coming in from many schools, what made you decide on UCLA?
Well, Bob, I thought it was the best place for me to go to school and continue my education and to play basketball. They do both things very well here, and I wanted to be here.
Successful athletes pattern themselves after the stars. Have you tried to duplicate any of the actions of the great stars, Lou?
Well, what I do is try to do the things that they do very well. I try to incorporate them into my game. I watch Oscar Robertson and see how he passes well and try to pass the same way. I watch Bill Russell and I will see how they rebound and play defense. I try to do the same thing that they do. I watch Tom Sanders and Gus Johnson and how they play defense. I try to do the same thing well, the way they do it.
A superstar expected to dominate the national scoring column for the next 2 years, Alcindor is a 67% shooter, averaging 30 points a game. He has all the shots: layups, turnaround jumper, and a hook. Number 33 in the pivot takes a soft high pass from the forward. He stuffs it. Lou plays low post on offense. Guards and forwards give him plenty of room. He fakes, takes a jumper, scores. Alcindor's 9-foot toe to fingertip reach gives him 16 rebounds per game. Try to get the ball through that tangle of arms. To stop Alcindor, opposing coaches have tried every defense in the book. Aggressive man-to-man is still best against the big man, but his height and strength make him a constant scoring threat. I've noticed that many of the teams play you instead of the ball. Does this bother you any?
Well, no, it doesn't, because those teams usually lose. They can't play me and not play the rest of our team. The rest of our team is very good, and they'll ruin anybody that tries to play me exclusively.
Sound philosophy from a great champion who deserves the title, All-American. Lou Alcindor from UCLA, the most widely acclaimed sophomore in college basketball history, joins Jim Walker of Providence, Bob Verga of Duke, Elvin Hayes of Houston, and Wesley Unseld of Louisville on the College Coaches 1966-67 All-American team. Texas way, fans and sports writers are raving about the Big E. And they're not talking about the aircraft carrier Enterprise, but the speed and power of Elvin Hayes, 6 feet 9-inch member of the 1966-67 College Coaches All-America basketball team. Elvin, they say success was not always in your corner, that you had trouble making your high school basketball team.
Yes, that's right. As a freshman, I was cut from the squad, and as a sophomore, I barely made it. But my high school coach suggested that I practice in the summer, and so I did. And I worked from morning into night, and I've been starting ever since.
Practice and dedication, that's the answer in all sports. Elvin, you still have another year of college ball, but do your future plans include professional basketball?
Yes, I am thinking about pro basketball, but first, I would like to play on the American Olympic team in 1968. As a boy, I always dreamed of bringing a gold medal home to the United States.
Since Hayes joined the Houston squad, Coach Guy Lewis has started a new record book. Versatile in every aspect of basketball, Hayes dominates both the scoring and rebound columns. Unlike most big men, Hayes has all the moves. Already the highest career scorer in Houston history, his fast, fluid movement and fine shooting touch earned him a 29 points per game average. He has a dangerous jump shot from the corner, but his surging drive toward the basket is nearly impossible to stop. The key man on the Cougar offensive attack, he can easily alternate between the corner and the pivot. He's a top gunner in both spots. A terror on defense, he has unusual mobility under the boards to go with his impressive size. He'll make a great pro and be a tremendous asset to our 1968 Olympic team. The Big E, Elvin Hayes of the University of Houston, joins Bob Verga of Duke, Jimmy Walker of Providence, Lou Alcindor of UCLA, and Wesley Unseld from Louisville on the 1966-67 College Coaches All-America team, one of the tallest and most versatile collections of basketball talent in collegiate history. Where basketball is an institution and not just a game, the University of Louisville has stormed the league. Principal character in the Cardinals' success story is Wesley Unseld, 6 feet 8-inch junior and a member of the 1966-67 College Coaches All-America basketball team. Wes, with you at the pivot and Butch Beard in the corner, Louisville has the finest 1-2 punch in college basketball. You make a great combination. But you were once members of a rival team, weren't you?
Yes, that's right. Our high schools met in the final game of the Kentucky High School Championship. My school, Seneca, won, but Butch was a real tough competitor, and now I'm glad we're on the same team.
Coach Peck Hickman says Unseld is the strongest, swiftest man in college basketball. Sensational under the boards, his rebounds often equal his point totals. Number 31's prowess under the boards is the bulwark of the Cardinals' fast break. His strength and quickness controls the defense. He takes the rebound, rifles the pass down the floor, setting up a score. If Unseld's point total is down, it's because he's an unselfish team player. His passes from the post set up many Cardinal scores. Despite his strength and size, Unseld has a soft shooting touch, hitting 50% of his shots, averaging 20 points a game. He has a devastating jumper from the outside, and his driving layups and hooks are tough to stop. Wes, you've got the size and strength of a track and field weight man. Do you have aspirations along that line?
I did at one time. I was Kentucky High School discus champion and placed second in Missouri Valley competition. But I realize my future lies in basketball, and I'm going to dedicate myself to improving my game.
That's the philosophy of a true champion and reflects the winning attitude of the great athletes on the 1966-67 College Coaches All-America basketball team. Joining Wesley Unseld of Louisville are guards Bob Verga of Duke and Jimmy Walker of Providence, that great center from UCLA, Lou Alcindor, and the corner man, Elvin Hayes of Houston. Each is a perfect example of the fine young student athletes developed by the coaches of our nation's colleges and universities.